A lot of people would not think to reach out to their moving and storage association in their area for tips and help and support. And I think that's huge.
Are you a day walker, Josh? I would have never known.
Am I a day walker? I missed it. I don't know.
Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving and Storage, located in wonderful and beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. And you know what? This is a Movified Mondays for the books, boys and gals out there, because this is typically a standard Zoom meeting that we try and do quarterly. The Let's Go Boys, we get together. We just want to have a good refresher. I mean, aside from text messages and groups that we're all part of and everything else, we love to just want to see each other face to face if we're not in an event. And we missed this. We missed a middle one, and we I think we did the moving army instead and tried to see everybody. But this is like, now we're calling it like the half year check-in, right? We're in June. And yeah, I want to welcome Matt Young with I Move, who's a regular on the show. Let's go, buddy. And movingletters.ai, and Mr. Josh Shipman, my doppelganger himself. Mr. Clean couldn't make it, so we settled for Josh, and with Central Coast Moving out in North Carolina.
Central Coast Moving?
Oh, Coastal Carriers. Oh my God. Jeez.
Let's try it one more time, Mark.
Let's try that one more time. Let's rewind it. So we got Josh Shipman with Coastal Carriers Moving and Storage.
Carrier. Coastal Carrier Moving and Storage. No,
you know, I was in my heart, I was like laughing still at my whole doppelganger Mr. Clean joke, and I also have Austin trying to text me
competing against Austin Yarborough.
Well, I sure hope so, because Austin can't even figure out the links that we send him here. So it seems,
and maybe he needs to update like I did.
I think so. Do update. All right, cool. Well, that's fine. We are getting ready, and we are ready to rock here. So
should we do that intro again for Josh Shipman for the editor?
No, it makes
no, it makes it raw, dude.
Hey, when I had a head of hair, it was red, so he's gonna keep on treating me like a redheaded stepchild,
like a Ronald McDonald, McDonald red hair.
Are you a day walker, Josh? I would have never known.
Am I a day walker? I missed it. I don't know.
Half ginger.
No. Half ginger. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
definitely a day walker.
Oh, there he is.
Watch out, dude.
What's up, man?
What did you do? Just finish a set of push-ups? Do you have a lot of fires going on out there? Was that a California reference? You brought your best friend.
Oh, he's got his prop.
Put him in the shot.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like you know what the best part is?
Just changed. The whole vibe.
You know what the best part is about Austin's signage is Austin is like the guy from the Subway commercial. I feel like you have your signage there, and then you got like the new Austin.
But play that tape all the way through. That story didn't end well. That story did not end well.
I'm trying to be like Mark and Matt, dude. Looking all sexy. And good, Josh, too. Your face looks a little skinnier.
Yep.
Oh, dude, Poppy that shit just.
So look at that healthy.
Dude. It's like a little sweet treat before bed.
A little health guy now, huh?
Pinky's up.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
I like it. Well, we've started recording, Mr. Yarborough. So if those that are just listening, if those that were just tuning in, we got Austin Yarborough with the Moving Army with Central Coast. Should I just call him Coastal Carriers?
Carrier.
I made that mistake.
Coastal Carrier.
And Pearson's Moving Storage. Carrier.
Coastal
Carriers. Like,
okay, Mark. All right.
I had this situation with someone because, up in Canada, we have limited and incorporated, like your LLCs. And it's always that toss up of, is it an incorporated company when you write a check, or is it LTD? And is that going to affect you when you're writing a check?
We get a lot of lost
emails,
a lot of lost leads and whatnot because of that S, people putting that S on there. So it's a constant 10 times a day I have to correct people easily.
Well, I got a question. Do you own the domain name for coastal carriers?
No, but we probably should.
So that you have like double?
Yep.
You probably should. I feel like that extra switch would help. And then you just get that domain and you forward that. Yeah, exactly. And then at least have like a centralized email.
You go in and you open each email and then you forward it?
No. Okay, so here's a great example. This is for people that are trying to switch domain names, and we're going through this process right now.
The files are in the computer?
We have who, me? We have we have salmonstransfer.com, and then I got salmonsmoving.com, and I'm trying to get everybody to switch over their emails so that it's all at salmonsmoving.com. And in order to do that and have the duplicate, you can
Matt,
have like
is this a serious podcast? Or is this us getting together chopping it up?
Emails. I got
Mark, you're making full sense.
Is this serious?
Well, we still get a fax.
Fax is fax.
Do you know what a fax is, Matt? Is that?
Yeah. You guys still do that up there, huh?
Faxes, yeah. We still do faxes up in Canada.
Faxes,
like fax, like fact or fiction,
like fact, like facts, like hashtag facts. Fax is facts. Okay.
Where's Nick?
Half your review. I'm gonna keep you guys on track. Nick is he's also trying to freshen. He's saying he can't log in. I've told him.
I think it's because the Riverside was like a link texted, and then like I was trying to do Google.
You forward it to me in my email?
We need to reset this real fast. What do you think, Mark?
Do you forward it?
Quick
I think
refresh.
This is gold. I don't think
I'll draw something cool on my board, and then we could just do a new.
It's in the computer. The files are in the computer.
This is for the after show.
They're in the computer.
Put this at the end.
You got to see my dirty office.
Did you go?
Oh, I got sued today, by the way. Small claims.
Oh,
Fun
perfect. So let's talk about this.
I got
Austin,
sued.
before I break it into like what's been happening the last 6 months for everybody. Austin, okay. So you got sued. Which company?
It is so Central Coast. There was a spa, a small like one of those like they're like a small like little ice bath, heat bath kind of spa thing, and she's suing us to buy her a new one when only the lid of it, the nails came pulled up. And I'm like, okay, I will destroy you. Like, there's no evidence that it was actually functional before we moved it or that you did use it. And you denied me sending a professional repairman out there. I was like, I will wreck you in small claims.
Before we ever started using a moving CRM, someone asked me, could you 10x what you're doing right now with the current systems and processes you have in place? And I said no. And so he was like, well, then you need to just pull the trigger on the software. And then I saw Smart Moving and it was game over.
Austin joined thousands of moving owners on Smart Moving in 2021. Since then, he's more than doubled his business.
And I always compare Smart Moving to Apple products. It's just so simple, so easy to use. And that's really what's allowed my team to scale and now have 2 branches. And last year we scaled Central Coast Moving over 50% growth.
If you're ready to turn your moving company into a machine that drives profit, not chaos, try Smart Moving.
Doesn't sound like she have a lot to no legs to stand on.
She did get the $250 valuation coverage, which I'm like, well, you still have to pay for your whole move before I entertain shit anyways. So she's just a red flag. I think she finally paid. Let's see.
In a situation like that, Austin, what are you looking for? As the guys that are listening to it, someone comes in, wants to take you to small claims. What are you looking at? What are those top 3 things that you want to make sure that you've checked off or that your sales staff has checked off?
So the number one, you're going to make sure contracts are signed, estimate, and California, household goods information booklet and all that good stuff. And then the the actual work order. Step 2, you want to pull up all the communications and information that's going on. And then, so you could put it into like a Google Doc or somehow get a full list of all the correspondence that's been to and from. Step 3, I would say, would then be pull up the invoice, make sure the invoice is paid. Everything's good to go. Files or photos are printed out of the damages, and then evidence of all the effort that you've put in, all the communication effort and in between correspondence. And then you just go, take your, self to small claims. It's just like a Zoom call. It's not just because you get served for small claims, like people are just too happy, And like she packed herself and then was trying to come after us for her glasses breaking. I'm like, how can I? It's like, you didn't even pack your belongings properly. How am I supposed to be responsible for that? And we did actually offer settlements too. So that'll also be like, just to kind of get it out of our way on top of having it professionally repaired. So I feel like she has no room to stand on. And then step 4 would be to contact Steve Whittekamp with a CMSA. So you would then contact your local moving association and see what guidance you'd go from there.
I love that last one. I feel like a lot of people don't apply it. And thank you, Austin, for that top list. A lot of people would not think to reach out to their moving and storage association in their area for tips and help and support. And I think that's huge. So, you have that. If you don't have the other support around you, or if there's something that you're questioning, if you're fairly new and this never happened to you, make sure that you're part of association and use that as a support and a crutch to lean on. Guys, it's been a minute. I know we've all chatted, we've all kept each other up to date, but Joshy, I feel like you have a couple things on the plate here and things that you're slowly trying to figure out. One being how to use a computer, but 2, what's been happening since the new year? What's 2025 been like?
2025 was the year of implementation. We've got a whole new marketing campaign that we're doing that is kind of taking the back burner. We've gotten so busy that we haven't really needed to implement it, but we spent a lot of time on it. So more will be revealed on that one. We jumped on BambooHR. We went through a Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration audit, and that is a scary, scary, scary thing. That is not fun to do. So they dug deep and gave us some opportunities, things that we could do better. We thought we were doing pretty good, but when we really started digging deep, there were holes. There were some systems that weren't happening like they should do. And so we pretty much compliance, compliance was the main issue, not documenting regular drug testing going to the clearinghouse. If you've got CDL drivers, you need to have your documentation process of your drug testing policy, how often the drug tests are being performed, hours of service, making sure the length of time that you keep all your records, the amount of records that you need to keep for each one of the drivers, how far they go back. A lot of the stuff I needed for employees for 3 years. They just dug deep into everything. But from the minute that the audit started, I went through everything with the officer, and when he asked for something, instead of trying to forge paperwork, falsify documentation, bring up false logbooks, I said, "Hey, man, this is something that we have not done a good job at. I need to get better at it. Can you give me any guidance in the best way to move forward?" And I don't have it. Instead of beating around the bush, I was just very straightforward, very honest, and he was very appreciative of that.
We lost you at when you were basically, and to me, this was going to be my follow-up question, that honesty, being humble, accepting, like, not so much defeat, but just kind of, hey, listen, like, this is where our mistakes lie, then combative. I know as business owners, we get very defensive. We're always, this is an issue, and we didn't mean to do it. We just want to make sure that we did this right and we did that right. But you didn't really go that route. You did the very Josh Shipman style of, hey, you know what? I'm going to be straight up honest with you. This is how we're going to learn. And it was a positive outcome.
Yeah, it was. And the final outcome of it was the officer coming to our warehouse, took a half a morning, gave a speech to all the employees at the warehouse, talked about roadside checks, did 3 full vehicle inspections, 1 tractor trailer and 2 straight trucks. Really got in depth with the guys. And we've got a wonderful culture and a wonderful bunch of guys. So they embraced it. You know, they asked a lot of questions. They weren't bumps on a log, just sitting there, and he talked. So he actually enjoyed it also. So it really turned out to be a wonderful thing, and it really gave me a lot of insight into what we needed to improve on. And I feel like one of the main opportunities was the human factor in all of this record keeping and not taking advantage of some of the new technology that was out there. And that's when I started to search around about online HR companies. Had heard someone talking about Bamboo on a podcast somewhere. So I jumped on there, and I tell you what, if you haven't looked at it, I'm going to give them a shameless plug. I don't get anything for this, but BambooHR automated the entire HR process and alleviated a person in that role. Because everything's automated. You can send the applications out. They keep track of the files. They give you emails when stuff needs to be renewed, license, medical cards, drug tests. You can do employee performance reviews in there. So it's a neat product. I'm sure there's multiple other products that do the exact same thing. I'm sure Matt could create spreadsheets that do the same thing. I'm not that smart. I'm still looking for the emails and the files in the computer and can't find them. So that was one thing. And then just glutton for punishment, I decided to switch VoIP phone systems. Wasn't happy with who we had before, and did a little bit of research between RingCentral and Dialpad. Dialpad seemed to be the better choice. And we just got really busy as we started the onboarding process, and it has drug out for 8 weeks. So we are trying to do a new phone system, and then also trying to do the Supermove AI voice agent. And we found out along this path that we had to integrate those two together to work together. So what was going to be a 4 to 6 week onboarding process turned into an 8 to maybe 10 week process. We've had a few delays. So we've had some hiccups along the way. And all of this coming to a head right now. We'll probably finish with everything this month, and we're also going to do a record month, probably somewhere close to 750 for the month. So
nice. Let's go.
Yeah. And
that's a fantastic one.
The neat thing about this is it doesn't seem as busy. Eric Works talked about this the other day, highlighting long distance on your postcards and everything, and that is all we've really been trying to push. So our average ticket price is way up, up. And so we're doing more with less, trying to increase our profit. That is always a struggle in this day and age. The guys needing more money, the wages going up, the cost of living going up. I mean, it is just tough stuff out there right now. So we're trying to keep up to make sure that we're providing a good place of employment, giving a good wage, giving guys opportunity to grow. And it's just been a good season so far. We're super excited. I hope everybody else has picked up in the same amount of volume, if not as good as last year, better. And I just hope everybody's experiencing what seems to be like a great season we're in the middle of.
Well, that's fantastic. That's awesome. And what a killer setup. It's like all these systems coming in play, focusing on the long distance, keeping the culture alive, and boom, you're just hitting record months. Let's go.
Yeah, and we've gone to, a lot of people talking about, cooking breakfast once a month, getting the guys together, maybe once a week. And we jumped all the way to once a week cooking breakfast. I went to culinary school when I was younger. I am now doing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday breakfast team training, group gathering, half an hour, each one of those mornings. And I'll tell you what, man, spirits are just high. Spirits are high. Get in touch with your crew, talk to your people, Be there for them. If you're the motivator in your company and you're not seeing them go out in the morning, missing the boat, buddy. Missing the boat. So I don't know.
I love it.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Josh, I got a quick question. So when you have to do this kind of onboarding of all these different, applications and big things, now, obviously you're a much bigger company than myself. Like, does it just take a lot of time to get the whole team on board? And is that really what kind of takes all the time to get it implemented?
No, the problem was we had so many programs and we've grown so much that I was, like I did all the onboarding for Smart Moving and I programmed everything and I did all the back end on that. And I've gotten to where I there's certain things that I look at in Smart Moving, but the back end of it, I don't even know it anymore. Like I struggle. I had to put an estimate in today, and I put it together, and I tried to dispatch it for the guys, and it was like it wouldn't and I was like, "What is wrong? What's going?" And I had done something. It's just something that I'm not doing daily anymore, so I lose touch with it. So I was very adamant that I was going to do the onboarding because I don't want to add another program to our company that I don't know how to operate. Like I could have just delegated this all out. I think I am making it a little longer, but I want it to be dialed in. I'm making sure we do it perfectly the first time and look at every single nuance. Because, Smart Moving, I'll just use that as an example. They keep on coming out with new updates. I'm probably using 50% of what it's capable of. There's 50% that I'm not even using that if I set up or I spend the time on it, it would probably be a lot more efficient. So I just want to make sure these new programs that we do, we're using them to their full capacity.
Are you a mover looking to make an impact? Discover Moving Letters AI and join the ML Plus Club today. Elevate your customer engagement with the personal touch of handwritten letters.
If you want to take your company to that next level, it's the only way to subscribe. If you're doing anything but Moving Letters AI, you need to get on it. So it's going to take your business to that next level. You're going to see an increase in that revenue. Let's go.
I highly recommend using this company. They're amazing to work with. They even send you an email on how much work they're producing for you.
Don't miss out. Join the revolution and start making moves that matter.
Put a golden damn ticket in there with Moving Letters AI.
I believe it. We've had a guest appear on here, fashionably late, but you know what? We'd only expect nothing but the best. We have Neacail Murdock with Murdock's Moving and Storage. What is up, Neacail?
Great. Yeah, totally.
Sorry about that. I was at another meeting and I had to rush to this one. I thought I could get in on the phone, but it was
not happening. All good. Well, we're happy to have you in here. We are giving everybody an insight of typically what our Zoom meetings, would look like, and giving everybody the update. We love to, tell what's working, what's not working, what's been happening. We have 6 months to really kind of catch up of like what has been 2025 like for you within the company. And Austin, let's hear it, because it's been nothing but excitement, and I'm going to keep you down to at least 10 minutes. So you have to really let's
he's only going to need 30. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we're gonna get over there. Oh yeah, well, yeah, he's up next.
I only need 5. By the way, I do want to hear about Matt's rebrand on his business too, because I know that they changed their shirts up. I just want to make sure we get that one in. All right, let's go rapid fire right now. So Pearson Moving and Storage, I've been there since February. We had the Moving Army event. Been working with tons of moving companies all over the U.S. It's been fantastic to watch them grow, develop, and the feedback, and it's inspiring for me, and it keeps me pushing and challenging myself. One thing we discovered in Arizona, for all of you listening, that building, sometimes we look at, everyone's like, oh, who's your ops manager? Who's your ops manager? And and I know Murdock has been using basically a dual piston operations department for a while. We started implementing an operations coordinator who's basically a liaison for the office And then a dispatcher who's in the field is like a lead driver, but he's dispatching the teams. Keep in mind, Pearson's a $1 million moving company right now. And so this, they're running like 4 trucks a day-ish. So this system works really well for them. And so he's the liaison for the teams. So now the team and the office have a bridge that's being built besides one person that's kind of like a pendulum swinging in each direction. Now they each have their designated party to collaborate with and work closer with. So that's really, we've seen a huge success. Shout out to Nate over there. He's basically running the whole Pearson branch. Lauren and I just were there February, March, April, May, 4 months. Operationally, we were struggling at Central Coast because we did bring the teams that light up the room a lot. Us and Nate were, a lot of the energy at Central Coast. Well, also while I was out in Pearson, me being in the field, going back to grassroots and earning the team's respect with blood, sweat, and tears, I think that has been a huge. I remember Chris Sweet was saying that he did that once a week. And I kind of was like a little confused, like, why are you wasting your time doing that? But I also am like, dang, well, I feel like we're overlooking how much that matters to building trust, because sometimes we don't even know half of our team members' names and things like that. So them, not just to prove yourself as like a savage out in the field, but also to like get to know them on a personal level where they like are like, dang, like this guy, like he runs this business, but he also like he's one of us inside too that just elevated to this other role. So I think that's been extremely powerful for Pearson and Central Coast as I moved back in June. Building the trust with teams. Followed a Murdock. We got an ice machine at the warehouse. If you're listening to me and you don't have an ice machine and a pallet of waters from Costco, yes, you can build the trust with your team that you can order a pallet from Costco. It's $350. Well, it's $290 or $280, but with the $75 pallet fee. Trust me, I know. The team has done an amazing job at Central Coast, actually respecting the trucks, the facility, and the warehouse with not throwing the water bottles everywhere. And I'm really proud of them. And so we've, taking advice from other moving company owners like Murdock's, and implementing our own twist on it with the ice chests as well. They're like the vertical orange ones that actually Pearson had. And so that's something that we've implemented to build culture. And just like Josh, we're actually doing lunch or breakfast every single Wednesday. So yesterday we had like donuts, and the week before that we actually cooked with them because that was our first week back. But during the peak season, I think that you should be kind of feeling like your peak season too. And I think during peak season, boosting morale with a couple extra breakfasts, maybe even once a week, I think goes a long ways. I highly support that. Marketing tips right now, business development, relationship marketing is number one. We had a lot of success with voicemail drops, specifically at 4 p.m. And I've also figured out that instead of like a $50 referral, people would rather hear fill up your gas tank. So I voicemail drops 2023, 2024, 2025 clients. I forgot to notify my sales team, and we got bombarded by phone calls at a 4 p.m. voicemail drop with Sly broadcast. That shit was powerful. I had tried it in the past, got a little negative feedback with Central Coast. So I tried it with Pearson's 23, 24, 25 data. And we've been getting from the voicemail drops from other ones I've done with the realtor data. Shout out to Maddie freaking Mailers with Moving Letters AI, who's now basically a whole data company. You got to ask this guy all about how he can get you some badass data. So we've just booked a $2,000 job from voicemail drops. That's been powerful. Email funnels, working on that. Damage claims, just hired Terry Capaccio. Shout out to Smart Move over there for referring us, not Smart Moving, but Smart Move in San Diego. We're transitioning now to Instagram ads in Pearson Moving and Storage. So if you aren't using Instagram for a marketing funnel, think about all of the assholes online that are using Google. You're just another asshole using Google. And you could be the only asshole using Instagram and Facebook. Well, it's not just to get clients. I'm actually specifically isolating and targeting small cities in Arizona to attract and be in front of the real estate agents. I don't want to market to clients so much. I want to dominate and be a local legend in Arizona, just like I am in California. And this is my way in. I already know we dominate the Instagram organic space. Why don't we just double down? You can actually look on Facebook ads. I forget, I sent it to you guys. You can look who's doing advertising on this. I know Two Men in a Truck is, I know College Hunks, and I know TM is with Let's Get Moving. That's enough data for me. I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to go hard, and I'm going to cut down my Google ad spend, and I'm going to show you guys how you could be successful, and hopefully a few of you can join the moving army to trade marketing and business and sales tips like this, as well as leadership and accountability advice. So Central Coast Moving is now re-auditing all their trucks. I have color coordinated tape to re-audit every single truck with every single piece of equipment. That's something, if you're not doing, I highly recommend. It's time to audit and go back to square one. Hiring and training. We are hiring once a week. I think Matt has got a really dialed system. If you guys ever need some advice, he's a great guy for this. He's doing it. Murdock also does a great presentation. And then Chris Sweet was doing a training session where he had different people going through a cycle of training and like different departments and leaders in the company teaching them. I'm going to be doing the same thing with my teams. Meathead Movers did something where it's a 10-day probationary period. And I was like, that's funny. That actually makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. I can legally pay someone $600 for a 1099. So why am I not just saying, hey, you know what? Here's a shirt. Go show up on the trucks. If it's a pass or fail, if you pass, now let's put you through training because I can now 1099 you. I don't have to waste all my time on all the paperwork. So I do a soft onboard, get them into Smart Moving, some small things, and then I do a hard onboard with official training. Now that I know that they're actually cut out and my team has now actually interviewed them in the field without me wasting all this time and energy getting them onboarded. That's been big. Breakfast weekly, group training. I think that's about it. I got 1 minute left to spare. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Austin, what would you, people have seen you evolve here with having the acquisition of Pearson's and putting together a conference in a short amount of time for the moving army. For those that are thinking about, oh, wow, I'd love to put on a small conference. I'd love to do, something like this. Give me a positive and give me a negative that you found on putting on an event.
Positive and negative. Here's the simplest one. If you're looking to build status, you guys can all borrow. You can't borrow it on the moving company level, but if you want to borrow it on a local legend level, I'm giving you all permission to do your own movers and shakers event in your own community. If you want help with how to do that, join the moving army and I'll be showing everyone else how to do it. And so, because there are movers and shakers in every single community, and that's where you can be a local legend and build your brand. When you do this, you should always have a videographer and you should always be looking, how can I elevate my status with things like this, with some sort of blown up thing or like some sort of backdrop or some marketing materials like a pull up banner or something like you guys have for Movified and moving letters. Biggest negative thing is that likely events aren't really money makers. And so I knew this going in that my goal was to actually break even. We didn't quite get there, but we had over $125,000 in sales. And I decided in January I wanted to do this event. So on a success level, I think it was extremely successful. The offer got purchased by over 30% of the room. So I know exactly what I need to do and what I want to do and how to scale your business. And stay tuned for January 2026. We're going to be having the Movers and Shakers event, number 2, location to be determined, dates to be determined, but we're going to be doing a second one. And we're going twice as hard, baby. Let's go.
I might know where it's going to be.
I have an idea. Maddie, thank you, Austin.
All right.
Buddy, so I know in our last conversation, if you don't mind that I can share this, when we, how far back you want to go? Like a year and a half, 2 years, maybe? There was this sense of when Moving Letters was kind of kicking in and Matt, we would have these conversations within the group where it was, I've been doing moving long enough. I'm kind of just done. Like it's one of those things where you just kind of hit this wall and the issues with the guys, problems with the trucks, customers, when you want to grow, it just is not falling into place. And you just kind of want to bow out. Sometimes it's not even worth it anymore. It's one of those things where it's just like, is that headache really worth my sanity, my family life, all of it? It's things that us as entrepreneurs go through all the time. It doesn't have to even be in moving. And you found this love within Moving Letters that was igniting this fire within you. You really, you were wanting to grow. It has grown exponentially. It's a massive force to be reckoned with so many moving companies that are using it, loving what you're putting out there. But there's been this switch, and we're all seeing it. And I really want you to share about this, because I want to know what made you go back in with a 200,000%, and the rebranding, the shirts look sick, the marketing, the socials, the culture just seems to be like, wow. Like it's hard to even give me a dictionary of all the definitions of wow. And you're right there, because watching this growth is just amazing. You seem happier and excited about iHaul, iMove. Come on, cut me off here, because I'm just going to keep blabbing about how awesome this change has been.
I love it, man. Yeah. Well, a lot of this, if people have noticed on social or anything like that, a lot of this attests to just the power of this group, right? Specifically, you four guys really have helped me fall back in love with moving and fall back in love with it. About a year ago, if you approached me, I probably would have sold my business for pennies on the dollar, because of how done I was, of how defeated I felt. And it's not that the business was bad or anything like that. It's just that I've robbed myself personally, because I thought I could do everything. And it pretty much robbed my family from the time I could spend with them and everything else, like answering calls in the middle of a dinner, or any of those things, or getting a text in the morning that a guy was going to call out, and the immense stress that things like that caused. And, through these relationships here have encouraged me to hire just great people. So now putting, hiring great people first, people that I really vibe with, that I can build a good relationship with, and then developing their skills, training them, has really helped me fall back in love with this. I think there's been just a shift, not only in the culture, but it's like a micro rebrand, right? Austin said it earlier. It's like, I already had this logo for a year and a half. I just didn't do anything really with it. And now it just feels like, with the new social media stuff we're doing, and the new people and the presence and the photos and all of that it feels like a little micro rebrand within our company. And I think it's a rebrand in myself to kind of get back into the moving company. Moving Letters is a little on autopilot. Feels good to say that, right? It's definitely not as stressful as a business, I'll be the first to say. But I wanted to get my hands a little dirty again and kind of go back in headstrong and see if anything that I've also learned from that business I could develop over here. And it's already helped immensely, man. So thank you to you guys for all of your support and all of this, man. It's been a huge change for me. So
being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google. No one's gonna call. No one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first, so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
If you're considering Snowball, just do it. Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we have 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
Well, we appreciate it. We love you, buddy. And it's just been amazing. What have you found was the first, like, what were some of the first implementations? Like, was it the rebranding? Was it, hey, we're going to take this logo and do it? Like, where was your mind at to go, okay, like, this is what I need. This is the second step. This is the third step. Like, how is that going to look like?
Because you almost did Goose Moving too. Like, you almost did Goose Moving. You were due for a rebrand though.
Well, yeah, and we might still do Goose Moving. I might still do it as a sub brand. I'm not sure what's going to happen, right? But I think it was ultimately what encouraged it was like seeing the stagnation of the business. The business wasn't growing. It was staying the same. And I started to think to myself, hey, like as we go to these conferences, as I see Neacail just grow from 1 million to 3 million, it feels like almost overnight. And the stuff that he's doing, the stuff that Austin's doing, all of the growth with Shipman, all of you guys, like, and you as well, Mark, like, it encouraged me to be like, hey, dude, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? And putting myself out there to just be a little bit more involved in all of those aspects of like, okay, now we're going to get a little more into hiring. Okay, can we get the social media stuff going on? Can we finally, I just shared with you guys our 2025 employee handbook, right? And it's like really well designed and over the top. Sure, we could have just made a Google Doc and Chat GPT'd it, but now it looks good. And when we make things look good, I find that there's more ownership from the employees, right? Like spending more time training with them. And I think Austin said something a moment ago about getting your hands dirty and like, spending more time one-on-one developing these relationships with your guys has really helped as well. So,
which I think is so important. And I know Chris Sweet was doing it. Austin mentioned that too, and getting your hands dirty as well. You do get lost in the trenches. I think every time I get an opportunity where the guys go, hey, can I come on? Can you help me on site? Hey, we need an extra hand. I'm always there. And it's because I want the guys to know, hey, the owner cares. The owner will jump and help out wherever it needs to be. And that's so important. Matt, we're losing you. What happened?
Yeah, dude.
You dim the light. Hey, listen, I'm looking at my watch here and Josh is smiling. He says, it ain't Movified at night yet. It ain't Movified at night.
He's going dark mode. That's what he said.
It's like self-timers. Matt, just go like this. Clap twice. Clap twice.
Good morning, Matthew.
We are back. Oh, and it's already fading again. Oh, no, it's the light. Sorry, guys. It's a big setup. You gotta have the light. You got to have it all. So that interrupted it. But yes, as we get the rebrand going. I appreciate this, guys. Like, this is a great opportunity. Every 6 months, we like to sync up or 3 months, sorry. We sync up like this. Not only that, we sync up like every day, right? We're in the moving army. Everyone's in there that's active. Like, I always see posts from Neacail, Austin, Sharon, Mark. You're always in there active. I'm a little less active than you guys, but man, the stuff that's going on in the moving army is like so real. No one's afraid to tell how it is.
Let's
no
give
one's
it up
afraid
to
of
Austin.
sharing
The
secrets.
community
Like,
that he
also,
built
that
is
stuff is
amazing.
hugely encouraging to have that force, to always be able to go there or go to you guys and be like, hey, I have
you
a
got to
question.
pull out your
Like,
wallet.
those things are extremely valuable. So just shout out to Austin, baby. I couldn't agree more. Neacail's spot on with it.
What's the website called again?
It's more of it's actually a form fill. Just reach out to me on Instagram, official Austin Yarborough. I'll send you a link because I do want to make sure you're a good fit for the moving army, because not everyone is a good fit, because I do want to protect the quality of the information in the group itself. And it, you know, if my boy Mark says he can't be in it, I can't let you in. No, I'm just kidding. But I know that
has to be Movified verified.
Coastal Carriers is coming in very soon. Josh and I needed to actually link up about this, so he'll be jumping into the moving army soon. He's, you know, we're in contract in cahoots. So if you're not in the moving
Josh
army,
is in full implementation mode right now. I know.
Until he could jump in naked.
That's right.
Woo! So,
well, listen.
I don't know. Something about North Carolina just stuck with me.
I like to be inclusive, all right? So I invited our Uber driver over for a fresh 18.
Oh,
yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll never forget.
That's where we all
could
became
ever
best
forget
friends.
Steven?
What's
Who could
up?
ever forget Steven? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Steven.
Yep.
All thanks to Neacail. Neacail, let's
Yep.
go over to you. I mean, you know, when we talk about the moving army, I have to say one of the strongest teams every time I see a Friday sales call on objections, your team is like locked and loaded. They are grasping at everything that's being thrown at them and learning and coming back every week more ignited and actually
Yeah, no, I have a
back with going, hey,
spectacular
like,
team.
actually,
and
I
you know
can
what I
handle
love about
situation. Like, I'm
teams
not
is that each
intimidated. Let's go.
individual
Like,
brings
let's
a certain
see,
aspect to that
play this
team.
out.
Right?
What's been happening in the last 6 months? I
Jeremy's
mean,
a
your
monster
business
on
growing,
the
like,
phone.
what's going
He's
on?
rambling
Bring
my
us up to
onsite
date.
estimators numbers, David's. You know, to do that over the phone and virtual is pretty impressive. CJ, you know, CJ handles, you know, so much, and then to still sell is pretty awesome. You know, CJ does a lot of back end stuff for the team too. I had a mover who had a lot of sales experience who wanted to, from previous employment, that wanted to, you know, get his feet wet. So I said, all right, well, you're going to eat what you kill. You're commission only, you know, and I got him an iPad. I got him a login, and I said, let's go. And he's on the board. He's on the board already, and he loves it, you know, and I had him listen on the last role play last week, Friday, and he texted me after, and he was like, man, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, well, no, you can, and you will. And he was just super nervous about it. I'm like, dude, everybody's nervous. Like, it's okay. And then something that stuck with me that Austin said, or maybe it was, you know, I think it was Austin, but, you know, basically what they said is if you're not practicing here, you're practicing on your customers. And that resonated. I was like, oh man, oh hell no. So I was like, let's get on these weekly calls. And then we do our own meeting after Austin's role play meeting. It's just a great time to debrief over the meeting, and you know, I get to connect with my team afterwards on a Friday. It's amazing. So yeah, you know, I actually gamified this month. I learned this from a local guy. He says if you gamify it, they actually have more to it's fun, right? So I said, hey, if we hit this number, I'm going to get everybody this. I thought a lot about it. I thought maybe different tiers, first place, second place, and I know that works for a lot of people. I thought for my first gamifying month of sales competition that I would just even the playing field and give everybody X amount of money so that they all work as a team. You know, and I'm going to get with my coach Austin later and see if there's a better way to go about it, because it's my first time really gamifying a month of sales. But every day, CJ is in the chat saying, hey, we're at this number, so if everybody sells this number, we can hit our goal. I'm like, what? Like, where did this person come from? I'm like, this is awesome. So yeah, the weekly role plays and just the moving army in general has been pivotal for my sales team.
Hi, I'm Mark Hirschi with Salmon's Moving and Storage. Today, I want to talk about Tighten Up training. Why? Because this is Netflix grade quality training. It's not those old videos and VHSs that you got hiding in your office somewhere. It's online, it's easy to use, they're short videos, but they get to the point. My new employees, these guys run through these training programs, there's tests at the end, and they're coming out going, oh, I'm ready to rock. So if you haven't checked out Tighten Up training yet, get a demo done, get on board. Guess what else is there? online portals for my sales staff. Can you believe it? These guys can learn how to overcome objections and book more leads today. So what are you waiting for? Go check out Tighten Up Training today.
That's amazing. Neacail, I kind of want to touch on something new that you've been developing, which is your affiliate program. And, you know, a lot of us say, okay, yeah, that's great. I got a page that's, you know, someone can fill out a form and you can be an affiliate and everything else. And, you know, and it works and we kind of keep track of things. But you really, you know, honed in to make sure like this was like perfected to a T. Can you share about like, what was your thought process and why your affiliate page is going to be such a standout compared to many others out there, especially the competition around you? That's one. And then the follow-up really is that I know you were mentioning, and if you don't mind sharing your thought process on this affiliate, I think you were talking also about this gamifying it with your affiliates and maybe even trying to do like a point system based on, you know, your moves, or you get so many points to utilize towards an upcoming move. Can you elaborate a little bit on this whole process?
Yeah, I'd love to, Mark. That's a great question. Thank you. So, you know, everybody has their strong suits, right? And I, you know, for the longest time, you know, tried to be this when I know that my strengths lie over here. And so Austin, again, a big shout out to my boy Austin, my coach. He's like, do what you're good at. And like, so what am I good at? I love connecting with people, and not just on a surface level, but like, hey, let's talk. Like, let's, you know, I just got done before this meeting with the local mastermind with some high profile realtors in my area. So I wanted to build a page that was reflective of the professionalism and the, you know, I want to connect with you. And so this is just 1.0, my affiliate page. You know, I've been in a lot of feedback with a lot of people. So I have a QR code that when I go to events, and I do a lot of community events in both my locations, and I put up this little QR code, and it's like, hey, scan this and let's connect. But then this, you know, person in my local area was like, well, that's great and all, but like, what's in it for them? Right? And that's a question I think that we all have to ask. I'm like, well, what is in it for them? Like, yeah, we're a great company and we'll do a great job, but you know, there's a lot of companies that will do a great job, right? So he's like, well, you need to gamify it. You know, he's like, get something on the board for them that they can. Most realtors and affiliates in our industry just want us to do a good job, right? Well, and so a lot of times they can't take a kickback, right? Legally. So what if there was a way that we could track, you know, which we can track their referrals. And, you know, I haven't quite figured this out yet, how I'm exactly going to implement it, but I figured out what I want the reward to be, and that's moving minutes. And so they you know, accrue a certain amount of moving minutes that they can pass to their client or friend or family or use it themselves. And I know not every minute is going to be equal to another minute, right? Some things are 3-man crews, 4-man crews. And so there's a lot of work to be done on the back end, but I wanted to really have this very robust system where, because we get referrals now, you know, affiliate is constantly top of my list, you know, of referral sources. And it's amazing to see. And I actually just did this yesterday, wrote all my handwritten thank you letters to every affiliate. And I have these custom coffee cards from Starbucks that I have. And, you know, I love to write those letters because people referring you is, you know, the backbone of our business that cost me, you know, my effort and time to create that relationship. But it's something that just continues to pay forward and lowers that marketing cost because it costs you, the company, $0 for that referral, right? It cost me time and effort, but the company didn't spend a lot of money on that, right? Whereas PPC and Google is out, you know, can get high, you know.
What's your PPC and Google cost right now?
Mine, personally?
Percent, yeah, do you know?
I know the dollars amount. We're about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. In PPC at about
that's good.
200 to, you know, 250 in sales a month.
Yeah, that's badass.
It's not
that's
bad. Really yeah, we dialed some things down, like LSA wasn't as hitting as hard, right? Google guarantee. So, you know, we got with Jake, who, you know, shout out to Jake. He's just the man If you haven't.
Shout out to Jake.
I think all of us in
Electric
this
Playground.
Zoom use them. But anyway, long story short, I wanted to have the most robust affiliate system, and a lot of people will put time and effort into a reward system, and it'll just fall flat, right? It just doesn't get done or it doesn't get used. I want something that just works, and it works consistently.
Well, I love it. To me, like this whole like moving minutes is like gold. It's like the next golden ticket because you can start utilizing, different moves and keep track of it and be like, oh, here's like a 6-hour move. You get a max of like 120 minutes, or every time you do a move, it. Oh man, I love the concept. And
The
calling this
MM.
the moving minutes, yeah. No, that's awesome. We lost Mr. Shipman, and he says, "Let me in." Except I don't see him trying to get back in, so I don't know what's
Hold on, I want to hear about Murdock's second location.
Ooh.
Well, it's no secret. I've been trying to grow this branch out for over a year. And like Austin, I have the second location. Well, okay, Austin technically has 3 locations now. But Austin's a different animal, right? But, I built this other location about an hour away from my main location. I got a lot from Josh, so shout out to Josh, about building these satellite branches that aren't so top heavy, right? With all the salaries, officers and management salaries, right? So I built this second location, but the main location's been servicing it. Now I've just taken the leap to go out there and really build that location like I know how, right? Build those relationships, build the networking, get the sales car rolling around there daily, get eyes on me. Like I looked at this location and didn't have a lot of representation, right? There are people back in the 90s still doing, the moving that they thought, the marketing they thought worked back then, which probably did, but doesn't in 2025, right? I got my boy Matty Mailers over here just locking me those high profile leads in with those letters, I'm really excited to build it out there. So thanks for mentioning that, Austin.
Yeah, no problem, man. And what else are you doing personally with Yuba?
I'm moving there. Is that what you're getting at?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's going all in. He's skinny dipping.
Yeah. I'm moving there. I'm actually moving out there. And I'm not telling a lot of my affiliates here in my local area that.
They know now because they all listen.
Yeah, and if I do, I tell them I'm keeping a house here, which, I thought about that. I'm like, why not just get like a little studio here in my main location or something like that, and then have a place to live here and there and just be everywhere.
Sure.
I haven't quite dialed all that in, but I am moving to Yuba City end of the month, and I'm all in, baby.
Boom.
Mike,
love it. Dude. I love it.
Yeah. I did just turn 39 years young. It's not old, it's young.
Let's go. Also, Neacail just celebrated a big birthday. Tell us about the big birthday, Neacail.
And then I went to MLS meeting where they all wished me a happy birthday and wondered why I was there.
Looking beautiful. And what'd you do for your birthday? Please share.
And then after MLS, I went and shot 18 holes on the golf course. And then came back and ate a great dinner. It was chill. I just got back from Cancun with Austin, so I didn't want to go anywhere and do anything crazy. So
I love that.
It was a nice low-key local birthday. And thank you guys. You guys made me feel real special on my birthday, especially Austin. So thank you for all of that.
You're welcome.
Very nice, man. Congrats, bro.
Two Joshes.
What is happening? Hold on. What's happening? We got double Josh.
Of course, we love you, buddy.
Triple logging in.
So what about Mark, man? The big elephant in the room here is Mark. We got a rebrand for you too here. What's going on?
Oh no. All right. Well, we're gonna mute you here and
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Of course. Olive definitely comes first. What have I been up to? Well, it's a huge shout out to the sponsors of Movified that have kept this podcast alive. I I feel like, for having a podcast, and thanks so much to my best friends, Matt, to kind of get this thing kickstarted. We are coming, up to a year and a half, which is crazy to have this podcast going. And we have consistently more and more subscribers. But to speak on the podcast, the website has launched. It's finalizing everything up. I want to make it a movement. That was my whole idea. I didn't want to make it just a podcast. I wanted to make it a bit of a movement. And, we're having merchandise on there, t-shirts, shorts. I kind of wanted to have it like almost the Gymshark of the moving industry, where you want to wear Movified clothing when you're heading out to the gym, right? To work out in. I love fitness. I like working out. I like sporting the shirts. I like bright colors as well too. So, why not make it kind of cool and stylish? So I think we're going to be coming out with some really cool shorts soon, and some updated t-shirts. So get ready for those that are coming to the Tighten Up retreat in September, because there'll be a new t-shirt there ready to launch. And I'm pretty excited for that. But we're also trying to create a where is this guy? Where's Josh? I gotta mute him. You're so loud. There we go. He's so loud. But I love it. It's like he's driving like a tractor right now. Yeah. So anyways, we're trying to build like a mastermind group. So I've been blessed to sit on the board of the Canadian Association of Movers, the Atlas Van Lines Canada marketing team, which has opened up tons of resources. Me and Austin been talking. We really want to try and do some type of collab with the Moving Army, and have, really small group masterminds in Canada built out, and then also collaborate with those that want accountability and sales coachings with Moving Army, and then those that want more of this type of Zoom type of meeting, only a handful of moving company owners that are segregated out. Austin, Neacail, you guys have participated in some of the masterminds that we've had with Prob from You Move Me, and we find them to be very successful and beneficial. So we kind of want to break that out. That's going on the podcast, man. It's been busy. Aside from moving back into my house and everything else, I am also acquiring another moving company, which is really exciting. So August 1st, I am purchasing a company that is in the local area as well too, but kind of off the beaten path. Salmon's is here, other moving company here across town. Going to hopefully do a little trifecta, setup, but it's pretty amazing. It's kind of like a Pearson's Moving and Storage. These guys do just under 2 million. They run about 4 or 5 trucks. Thankfully they're actually an agent for Atlas as well too, which is kind of nice. So those that are listening are probably going to start Googling and try and figure out who I'm talking about pretty quick, because the cat hasn't been out of the bag yet, but it's going to be great. I'm looking at this company like a baby. They have a small staff, small team, and it's one of those things that Josh talks about. It's one thing that we all talk about, which is we go to conferences, we go to these events, we read all these books, and then we do fuck all. We implement like 10% of the 100% that we're learning. And, we're always like when we actually do implement it, when we're actually going in like full force, we're always shocked by the changes. We're like, wow, oh my God, this is working. Hey, wow, look, I've bought back my time, and I have so much, I can expand and I can grow. And a lot of that stuff I've implemented into Salmon's, but I am going like all in on this company and almost treating it like a project, where I am taking everything that I've implemented, all of the tools, and taking it, implementing it, and I want to just track it, and I want to see that whole system grow. Again, me and Austin, we talk all the time. Austin's now got on the that shiny object of acquisitions that I tell him about. One of the biggest things that I want to share with everybody right now is you start following these stories, and what it's called is, and someone correct me too, because I might not be saying it right, but it's called like the silver era. And right now what it is that you're seeing baby boomers that are in these industries, and whether they're in these trades, retiring, cashing out. and their kids don't want to take over the business, whether they went off to do something else, they have nowhere to go, and they just want to find a buyer, or they're just going to close up shop. And just like my situation, they want to retire. They want to spend time with their grandkids. They have set up an end date. It is that. And that's when you find the best deals. That's when you can make the best acquisitions possible. And you do it to make sense for you, not them. You're the option. So you have to find those out, seek them out. If you want to know more information, talk to Austin, talk to me. If you're in Canada, if you're in the States, talk to Austin. But we're building a type of templated package for Canada, United States, for these types of acquisitions, of the step-by-step, what to do, what to look for, and how to make it happen, because it's there and it is so easy to make money. I mean, you're finding companies that don't even have a CRM. They don't even have the proper marketing tools. They don't have the proper culture in there. I mean, those three, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. To me, it gets me so pumped and jazzed up. It's exciting. This August 10th, for all those that are listening up in BC or want to travel to Vancouver, beautiful Vancouver, we are having the second annual Moving Industry Golf Tournament that is being put on by myself, powered by Movified, hosted by Salmons, and we already have about 40 players in check, and it just keeps growing. We're still a month and a half away, and about 2 months away from the event. That's August 10th. It's a Sunday. And we got some amazing sponsors. We got Moving Letters as a sponsor. We got Smart Moving as a sponsor, Supermove, Atlas Canada, Advantage Box Company. I mean, the list goes on for those that are out there, that want to help support. There's going to be some amazing prizes, lots of great networking. And that's what it's all about, is networking with like-minded individuals, but also the vendors, also the people that we're dealing with, right? If all 5 of us that are sitting on this meeting want to use Victory Box, and we say, hey, these are all our locations, we want to get a 53-foot trailer container of boxes shipped out to us with our decals, take our business or not, we have a lot more bandwidth and a lot more power with the 5 of us than one solo moving company. And that's where things like Moving Army come into place, and that's where the power of networking come into place. So talk to your local guys and say, hey, why don't we just get in on a shipment of moving pads or a shipment on boxes, because that's when you have bargaining power. And that's it for me. That's my spiel, and it's been great.
Boom. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper with. So tell us about your rebrand of Salmons, because I know that your trucks, Salmons Moving and Storage, Salmons, like your trucks are loud. They look modernized. I mean, you're giving some fresh new look. Mark, tell us about that.
Oh, I like that. Thanks, Austin. That's a great question. It's the power of implementation, the power of manifestation, right? You hear it from Austin, you hear it from me on the show. You manifest it, you focus on it, you fucking hone in on it, and it's going to happen. My wife is the epitome of manifestation. She says to me, we are going to the store, we're going to find a parking spot right out front, and I'm looking for 2 green chairs, and they're going to be there. And guys, a parking spot opens up in the front, and there's 2 green chairs in that store. Like it's crazy. Like I just it upsets me sometimes, because I want to try and be right, and it never works. But one of the biggest things is that I left one of the moving tent retreats back in I think it was in October, and who I met was from Kick Charge, Dan. And you talked about rebranding and the fact that so many of us moving companies have white trucks with just a decal, and a lot of times it's due for a rebrand. And so I said to myself, in 2025, it's going to happen. I'm going to rebrand it. I sought out a couple different clients. I found a local Canadian company that was able to do the rebranding. I had the idea, and I think you as a business owner have to take the feedback with a grain of salt, and always just kind of go what's in your heart. I loved the first design. I was sharing it with you guys. Man, I love this. I love it. I shared it with about 10 or 20 other people, and I had so much different feedback. And a lot of the feedback was, no, this wasn't going to work. And then it kind of flipped to, okay, we found the design that we wanted to, and it almost came up to the time for deckling. And I went and I showed my wife, I shared it with her because, this is our lives. This is the company. This is ours. And she said, we got to change this. You got to change this. Let's adjust that and make it happen. And I listened to her. I thought that was a great idea. We went for it. The rebranding came out. We rebranded our business cards, our brochures. And so far we're up to 2 trucks of the rebranding. And I'm so I love it. We deckled inside the office. We're trying to really bring back that culture. I just want to take this whole rebrand and shout it out. So thanks, Austin, for the question. I love it. I highly recommend it for people that have a stagnant logo or something they designed 5-10 years ago and they just did it on clip art, or they just kind of were trying to figure it out, and it just it worked for the time being. But if you want to grow, you really need to have a brand that stands out. People are going to notice you.
Totally agree, Mark. You're absolutely right. Yeah, like I see moving companies, doing this that still have very generic kind of stuff going on. So I think it's great that what you did, man. It's a beautiful look, man. Great looking truck. So just want to shout out that. Great work, baby.
Thank you. And it's like you, Matt, like you don't have to go extreme. You're just doing like a facelift. You're just doing like, sometimes that little refresher is all it needs sometimes.
Totally agree.
Right?
Yeah. It's some
little eyelid touch, right?
a little, totally.
I know personally about that one. Well, boys, any final words? Nope. Neacail?
Well, my final thoughts are that, there's power in groups, right? If you're listening to this and you're out there just trying to figure it out on your own, like reach out, to your local community members, reach out to Austin, reach out to Mark, reach out to Matt, reach out to anybody. There's the Facebook groups. There's just, you don't have to do it alone. So, there's plenty of resources. Me and Matt had a conversation a month ago about a problem that I was having. It was about TVs and us breaking them. And he told me what he does, and I implemented it, the next day, damn near. So, there's a wealth of information and the power of masterminding.
Well, I agree on that one for sure. Maddie?
Yeah. So final words here, man, is, I hope everyone's busy for the summer. Obviously if you guys have been paying attention to, Movified, the Moving Army, things like that, there's a wealth of information out there. Continue to stay diligent on implementing these things, guys. Like stay focused, right? Block time is going to be one of the most important things you can do. As a moving company owner, we're every day fighting fires. As we started this, obviously Austin came in as a firefighter, and I completely feel that. Don't let yourself do that sometimes. Be respectful of your time. Start blocking time, baby. Let's fucking go. Woo!
Let's go. Josh, I don't want to lose you again, so you got 30 seconds. Final thoughts?
Let's go.
Let's go. Austin?
Boom. All right. So final words. I mean, as Neacail mentioned, find your favorite part in your business. That's what's going to light you up inside. And once you're able to do that, find that part for everyone in your business. Putting the number one trait of successful people after ultra disciplined is putting people in the right positions where they belong, doing the things that they love. If you're doing something that you don't love, find a way or a VA with ready rolls to get that done, so you can go ahead and truly fall back in love with your business. Because just like what Matt said, I was listening to Cody Sanchez, the difference between hating and loving your business is having the right team to support you. People don't hate their business. They hate how they run their business. Don't hate the way you run your business, and find how to love your business again. Let's go.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Final thoughts. I love you guys. I really appreciate our friendship and our network. It's been a game changer. I shared our story to another moving company earlier this morning and said, if it wasn't for the group that I have and for the networks and the opportunity to attend the conferences and the Facebook groups that are out there, I would have probably burnt out a long time ago. And it's exactly what Austin's saying right here too, which is, find the favorite parts that you love about your business. You are not every part of your business. moving company owners, any kind of business owner, we wear way too many hats. Find the hat that you like to wear, right? If you want to take what Austin's saying, like in there, right? Find that we all have like 1,000 baseball caps. Find the one you like to sport all the time that makes you look good, you feel good, and run with it. Because damned if I'm being stuck behind a QuickBooks accounting situation trying to figure out numbers. Not my forte. Give me a credit card to spend on a bunch of AI technology. Done. Me and Matt, we will go shopping all day, every day for new technology. Like, but you want us to sit and do books? No, thanks. It's not our forte. So find someone it is, and find a VA. There's tons out there. I mean, God bless my EA. My executive assistant just kills it and saves me so much time. So if you don't have a VA, reach out to one of us. We will get you set up for sure. For all those that are listening, thank you so much for listening to our banter. Matt, did you not go? I thought
I did go, but I just want to say
let's go, boy summer.
Let's go, boy summer. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it.
Woo!
Let's go, boy summer. Woo! We're going to get some t-shirts made for that one.
Let's go, boy summer.
The Canada special.
Let's go. Shirt now. Mark will have it out when this episode drops. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you.
$24.95 plus shipping.
I don't know if I've seen.
I love that green. I love that the way the green looks on his skin. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
well, this is old school brand. Old school brand.
I like the old school shirt Mark's wearing right now because I also have that. I have both, and I wear that one.
I appreciate it. See, it works.
You know, I actually
love it. I'm going to come up with some new colors.
Compared to the Gen 1 shirts,
it reminds me of a pot of gold.
That was green was my favorite too. I still have that one to this day, and the Movified Gen 1.
I never got one of those ones yet. So, but for all those that are listening, stay Movified, everybody, and take care. Until next time. Thanks, guys. All right, let's go.